Fun fact, this is the second time I do this intro. Day 4. So for this video, I will be doing, as you guys saw in the thumbnail, a snow globe cake. All year round I've been wanting to do this cake, and it's finally Cakemas, so I finally get to do this. I did want to go with a very classic look for a snow globe. So to get straight into it, because I'd be rambling a little too much in my intros, I of course already went ahead and baked my cake. I actually baked these with you guys on my Instagram stories, so if you guys do follow me on Instagram, or don't, I'll leave it right here for you guys to follow me. I showed you guys how I do my marble cake, which by the way, this is looking not marble from the top, but once you cut it, it's like nicely marbled up. But I want for all of these to be leveled the same, so I have 3 cakes right here. Actually, I really use this, and today I thought was perfect to use my little cake leveler. Now to start layering my cake, I have my green frosting right here. I always like to put a little bit on the board. Moving on to crumb coat. This cake I want it blue, so I'm gonna go ahead and crumb coat, get rid of the green and the blue. That way we will have different colors here. Okay, I'm gonna pop this in the fridge for about 20 minutes, and then I'll be back to fully frost the cake. Guys, I just realized I want for this cake, because it's a snow globe, to have a little bit like an offset shape, a little slanted like shape to it. So I actually have to carve it a little tiny bit before I frost it, duh. So I kind of just crumb coated it for nothing. But I'm going to just slightly carve it all around to have like that shape. I think I have a little bit of the shape that I wanted. So let me do a quick little cleanup, and then we'll be back to re-crumb coat. Okay, now time to for real crumb coat. So I'm editing this video, and I just really need to say something. So I just realized how much I look at the monitor. So this video was pre-recorded even before Baby G's cake, and for this one is when I noticed it, so I stopped doing it. If you guys remember, for Baby G's video I didn't know more, but editing this right now I realized how much I was looking at it. Please forgive me, because it's bugging me, so it's probably bugging you guys, but I stopped doing that after this video. Okay, so now to fully frost my cake, I'm going to frost it using a piping bag, and then I like to use this big tip. I don't always frost my cakes like this. Sometimes I use just a spatula. It just depends on the life, I guess. Recently also got these cookies, and they are so helpful. Okay, I'm done frosting the cake. Also, this color is like a pretty sky blue, kind of like this one, but the camera just washed it off because it's a light color. But it's not this light. You guys will see in a minute. But now that I am done frosting this, I'm gonna put it in the freezer while I work on the little props that are going to go on this. Can you guys guess what it is? Well, you guys already know because you guys saw the thumbnail. So while my cake is setting in the freezer, I'm gonna bring you guys to a top view so we can get going on the snowflakes. Okay, now that we added the Merry Cake Mist on this right here, I have my snowflakes ready to go as you guys saw me do them. And I'm basically just going to put my snowflakes all around. I'm gonna add a little bit of water. I have my white frosting right here. This is where all magic is going to happen. So I'm just gonna pop this on top and then cover this with my white frosting. Okay, so now I'm gonna grab my little sprinkles. I've been using these a lot throughout Cake Mist, so I just realized I'm almost out of them. And sprinkle this just right here. Make sure none goes on the blue. So now for my top little props, I'm gonna go ahead and throw it back to a couple of days ago. So starting off with my snowman, I grabbed some white fondant and picked the size of the 3 balls that are going to make him. I'm using my cone on the side as reference to see how big I want for these to be. And then once I had the good size, I just rolled these out with my hand to get the perfect circle. And next, I'm just stabbing a long toothpick through the 3 of the balls. That way my snowman can stand still. And now working on his scarf. So I'm using some red fondant, cutting this out and placing it over my snowman. That way I know how big I need for my scarf to be. I added some water to my fondant. That way I can get these little edible balls to stick to the scarf. And I'm just placing these on top. These were so tiny, so it took me a little bit of time just trying to get them to the right place. And I just played around with my scarf. So for my scarf to actually look folded, I placed a piece of fondant through the bottom and then one through the top, as you guys are seeing. That way it gives it the illusion that the scarf is actually folded. And with my little blade, I just cut the bottom of the scarf to give it that scarf look to it. And now that my scarf was put together from the top, I added some more little balls to the top where it looked a little bit empty. Now I'm just placing my scarf on top of my snowman. I did add a little bit of water to make it stick, and then through the back just made it all fold together. For the buttons, I just used little black edible balls, and for his nose, some orange fondant, and I just drew in his smile with some edible marker. I rolled out some blue fondant, and on top, these are actually little edible snowflakes. I thought it looks super cute. And also added a little bit of black fondant to the top of the snowman head to make it seem like the actual earmuffs. And now I'm just gluing these on with some water. Now for his hands, I really wanted for them to look like actual sticks. I wasn't too happy with how these came out, but I basically just added some hot glue and glued some toothpicks together. I think I needed another finger because it was giving me very much chicken vibes, but this is how they looked. And then I just stabbed them on the side with my little pincitas. And there's my snowman. So for my tree, this was my first time trying this technique. I started off by rolling out some green fondant and just placed my cone on top and rolled that all over. I was being extra gentle since I did not want for my cone to break. Once that was covered, I used my scissors to cut off any extra fondant and just rolled it out to leave it nice and smooth. So now I just grabbed my tiny scissors and I basically was just cutting, as you guys see, and using my finger to lift up the tip and make the tree just look fluffy. This was very much therapeutic, and once I finished, I used my hand to just fluff up the whole tree. I wanted for the spikes to really just be up. Okay, so what you guys just saw are these right here. They are completely hardened now, which is so much easier. Do not do fondant figures the day of because it will drive you crazy. They're gonna be falling everywhere. But we have our little snowman. I'm gonna put my little tree. I'm scared for his little manita to not make it inside the glue. I have to make it snow on the tree before I put it on here. That way the snow doesn't fall all over the cake. So let's grab some snow. Okay, there we go. It is nice and snowed on. I'm gonna put this back on here. And then also a little present, which I don't think I recorded myself doing these. Just out of fondant, did little squares and then cut some little strips. I think my camera was not recording when I did the little presents. Okay, so now that everything is nice and centered, I'm gonna bring in my globe. I actually ordered it, no, not globe, bowl. I actually ordered this off Amazon because I could not find like a nice big one. So I'm actually gonna clean this really nicely, polish it with some Windex. That way it's really nice and crystal clear. And then I'm gonna go ahead and put some snow on here, which I'll show you guys in 1 second. Let's polish this up. Okay, so because my bowl was not like completely round from the top, I used this piece of fondant to just try and make it as round as I can possibly make it. Because for this last step, I have some white fondant right here. And I'm gonna go ahead and just use my table, because why not? So to cut out the snow exactly to this size, I measured how big this was, which was 4 inches. And then I cut this little cardboard to also be 4 inches. By the way, you can use paper or anything. I just so happened to use cardboard. That way I know exactly how big I want it. Now I'm gonna use this as a template. Okay, so with this right here, I'm gonna cut out kind of like a little bit of a wiggle to it. Okay, so I'm gonna glue the fondant on here now. I'm gonna add a little bit of water like always. Okay, so now I'm just gonna throw this right on top. To finish off, I already dirtied it all over again. But now to finish off my globe, I'm gonna grab some water and just brush the inside of it. And sprinkle it inside. Okay, my snow globe is done. Now to bring in the main contestant. Oh. Right on top. Okay, I dirtied the globe a tiny bit when I was moving this. I'm gonna pipe a little tiny border. Done. I did a last little polish on the globe so you can really see what's inside. But this basically is it for my snow globe cake. Thank you guys for watching episode 4. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I love you guys and I'll see you on my next one. Bye!